So here's something I'm realizing about wealth, about the idea of being wealthy. Immediately something snaps to mind probably when you think of wealth. You probably think of having a lot of money. You probably think of, looking like the influencers on the luxury yachts. You think of laughing like Kris Jenner. Ha ha ha. I'm being silly. You think of these things. You think of wealth as you have like a template in mind of wealth, essentially, according to the way that our society operates, according to the way that we see it, because it is such a social value of ours. We have this social human value that to be wealthy is like the epitome of success and of what it means to be a whole human being, right? I think this is why it's hard. I think this is why it's hard to embody the frequency of wealth. It's hard to embody the vibration of wealth because we see it externally as this great social value. And there's so much tied up in that. There's so much resistance tied up in that. There's so much that we think about it. There's so much that our egos have invested in it. But the true meaning of wealth is going to be an individual meaning. Each individual person is going to have a different feeling of what wealth feels like for them. To embody wealth is going to feel different for each person. And to me, the feeling of wealth is no different than the feeling of all the other higher emotions. It's no different than the feeling of joy and love and peace and harmony and freedom of expression and all these beautiful things. It ties in, it's interconnected, it's interwoven into the fabric, the tapestry of all those higher frequency emotions and states of being. So wealth is, again, it's no different. But I think the reason so many of us have a hard time experiencing our version of wealth is because we keep looking at wealth like it has to be this template. It has to be the yachts and the cars and the mansions and the luxury vacations and the luxury looks and the Instagram influencer follower, like all this, when okay, if that's what you truly want, if that's how you truly feel your soul expresses itself. But I think for most of us, wealth is probably a lot deeper than that. It probably means something a lot deeper, and it's probably a lot more nuanced, and it's probably a lot more subtle in a lot of ways. Wealth can be as simple as, so I'll start talking about what wealth feels like for me. Wealth is the ability to travel whenever I want to travel. It's the ability to have freedom of motion, freedom of movement, the ability to go where I want to go, to experience the things I'd like to experience, to go places, to feel the energy, to feel deeper into the world around me, to understand, to have a richness of experience of life, to understand culture, to understand sense perception. It's the ability to be free in what I create, to try things. Wealth to me is to be able to try things and to not have a fear of failure, to have a fearlessness about trying things I want to try, creating what I want to create, feeling like I have a blank canvas and all the materials and resources to do it, feeling like I'm able to just have confidence in myself to move through life the way I'd like to move through life, to move forward, to have the freedom of motion. It comes down to this freedom of motion, I think, for me at least. And so it's going to look different for each person. It could look like the ability to have time, the time and free time to do what you'd like to do, the ability to connect with people, like to have a wealth of connection. Like wealth is tied in with these other higher frequency feelings. So again, we have so many hang-ups around it, but it really does boil down to, can you get past all those hang-ups? Can you kind of ignore the template or the traditional definition of wealth, and can you just sink into your version? What does it feel like to you? Like, what do you want to feel? That's the greatest thing you can ask yourself. What do I want to feel here? Not what do I want on the outside that I think is going to make me feel a certain way, or that I think is going to give me a certain perception of life or whatever. It's what do I want to feel and what do I want to experience about life? Like, what do I truly, when I actually feel into my body, what feels like peace? What feels like security? What feels like stability? What feels like me? Like, what feels delicious? What feels satisfying? That's wealth. Trust it. All right, that's my little tidbit of the day. Love you lots. Take care.